calm down, cause he just wanna learn something, so I teach him something. I am the one that teach
Call me 10 wins and 20.
Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley, and this video is going to be a bit of a ranty rant about a fellow flat earther. Now, I was on Issa Michalski 70, whatever it is, I've forgotten his full name. I will put a link in the description to Issa's videos, which are very good. His music is exceptional, in the description box below. But I was in one of his live chats, and a fellow friendly, a flat earther, shared with me a video, and the video was about chemtrails. Admittedly not something I've researched, but something I'm aware of. And he shared his video with me, and the chat was essentially going into details about chem burns. Oh, chem burns? This is not a term I've heard. I mean, I'm not that unfamiliar with chemtrails. I thought I'd have heard some of the terminology. So I asked some of the chat, what's a chem burn? And the response came from Ranty Rant in the form of a link to his latest video. So he sends me this video, and dutifully I clicked on the link and watched it at double speed like I would normally. You know, I'm used to doing double speed, and it's not something I'm, what's the word? Not used to. It's not something I'm unfamiliar with, so I'm used to listening to double speed videos. And admittedly his sound was a little bit quiet, so I had to crank it up, which isn't exactly a massive problem. But I watched the video dutifully. And he also instructed me to read the description below, which I also did. So then I go back into the chat and say, well, kind of, what's your evidence? What other evidence have you got? You know, why have you drawn this conclusion? What proof have you got? And he kind of ignored me. And eventually it got to the point where I was like, are you deliberately ignoring me? I'm kind of just trying to ask you a few questions. And then he accused me of trolling him. And I said, I'm not trolling you. He said, well, you can't have watched the video. I said, I have watched the video. He said, no, I've still got mine playing. So I said, well, I play it at double speed. He said, no, you don't. You don't get sound if you play it at double speed. I was like, what's this guy talking about? You know, he's, rather than actually answering the question, which is, what other evidence have you got? He would just debate whether or not I'd actually watched the video, questioning my integrity rather than just answering a straight question. So essentially the guy's drawn a non sequitur conclusion. You know, correlation is not causation, and he's decided that because he sees a big chemtrail in the sky bigger than usual, that has caused him and lots of other people to get burned. And I've said, well, that's a non sequitur conclusion. What other proof have you got that it's actually the chemtrail that's at fault, that's caused this directly to happen? And he doesn't have any other evidence. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean it's not the direct cause. You know, I'd be the first to say it's possibly worth looking into for you, especially if you've had a direct effect from it. If you feel that it's the chemtrail at fault, do some more research, present more evidence that's more conclusive than you seeing a chemtrail, filming it, and lots of people getting burned. You know, that's not a direct correlation. You know, it's a correlation, it's not direct causation. My apologies. So I just don't get it. I wanted to document this. I don't know what the point I'm documenting it other than maybe to have a moan, but it just seems like there's people who are in certainly the flat earth community who I see getting trolled by people called trolls. So it's the first time I've been put into a position where I've said, well, I don't actually agree with your conclusion, what other proof have you got? Quite calmly, and I'm being called a prick and a troll as a result. And you think, well, hang on a second, don't we just want to actually be able to present things to people that are factually accurate, backed up with proof, backed up with evidence? But clearly not. It just seems that, you know, you can see a chemtrail in the sky and decide that, you know, you've got burnt because of it. But that to me just seems like nonsense. It may be the cause, but it doesn't prove it just because it's happened. But there we go. That's a little bit of a moan. It also kind of makes me think about people like JLB, who I've also, you know, I've kept in touch with. I wouldn't call him a friend, mainly because he doesn't like to call people who he associates with online friends. But ultimately speaking, we chat reasonably infrequently, face to face if you like, on Skype, and we'll discuss various different things very cordially. And like me, he will go and troll people. I mean, I wasn't trolling Ranty Rant, far from it. He shared a video of me, I looked, I gave my opinion on it. But you know, have I trolled people? Yeah, I have. Has JLB trolled people? Yes, he has. And sometimes you feel like trolling people when they essentially draw a non sequitur conclusion and then tell you that you're not watching their video properly, not listening, don't have sound, can't have possibly watched it all, are a prick, are a troll. As a consequence, it just seems like complete and utter nonsense. So where does this leave me? What conclusions have I got to because of this Ranty Rant character, who, to all intents and purposes, seems like a perfectly reasonable guy? You know, he doesn't seem like a nasty guy. It just surprises me that he would say, look, I'm going to disassociate myself with you because you're obviously a troll, simply because I disagree with him. That seems bonkers. You know, I get on very well with lots of people I disagree with, and I have plenty of disagreements with people who I associate with, the people I like. You know, it's just craziness to think that you can't have a disagreement with somebody and point out that their argument's fallacious, point out that their argument's poor. I would see that personally. You know, it's not a pride thing. If someone points out that I've got a really crap argument, I'd rather hear that than sort of condemn the messenger and continually pump out the same crap argument. just seems like nonsense. You end up feeling a lot freer when you disassociate yourselves from things that you don't necessarily agree with fully. You've just been convinced that they're true. For example, flat Earth maps. There's plenty of flat Earth maps out there at various different guises, but ultimately you don't have to buy into one and then come to the conclusion that you've got bloody portals and suns travelling through portals just because it matches a map that you've been given by the elites. That's a crazy notion. Just free yourself from all of it. It's all garbage till you go and fully research it yourself. Not just go and have a look at the standard rhetoric. And as for calling research just seeing a effect and deciding to draw a correlation or a causation to that, keep mixing those two up, it's just bonkers. You can't do that. I could draw non sequitur conclusions for everything all day long, and admittedly there's loads of them in flat Earth. You can't draw the conclusion that because NASA are complete lies and bullshit that the Earth is flat. You need lots and lots more evidence to go along with that. The surveyors actually surveying the land is a lot better proof than NASA being bullshit. It just helps. It's just circumstantial evidence that sort of props up your ultimate delivery in terms of what you're trying to present to somebody. But I'm all for presenting good arguments, and listening to the criticisms of those who would disagree with you is part of strengthening your arguments, in my humble view. And when you've got a friendly that's saying, come on, that's not the best of arguments, to suddenly label that friendly a complete troll. I get this a lot. I'll criticise people all day long. There's one particular person who, to date, I haven't actually openly criticised, maybe in a comment which got deleted by him, but other than that, I've not openly and publicly criticised one particular person for their method of trolling, because they're a well-respected flat earther. I've hinted at it in various different videos, but I respect that person, and people are people. We all make mistakes, we all have bad lapses in judgment, but it seems wrong to just fall out with every single person because you disagree. Better to find the things that you agree on than focusing on the things you disagree on. And this knee-jerk reaction as well from Ranty Rant, this whole video is a general video now, although I'll come back onto Ranty Rant. The knee-jerk reaction of him was just crazy, absolutely crazy. I think back to putting out my sort of first video like that, non sequitur conclusion, titled Flat Earth, and showing the NASA fakery of them filming the takeoff sequence from the moon, obviously filmed on a set with a load of wires pulling a model. But you go, when I was challenged on it, some horrible trolls, lots of swearing and vitriol. When I was challenged on it, I was intrigued. Oh right, I could be wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. And the realisation from that path was a strengthening of my argument. I saw more nonsense presented to me, copious amounts in fact, it was hysterical. But the rhetoric that people do believe in was presented to me in spades by these trolls. They presented the counter argument, the counter evidence, and I got to see it. I got to see the counter evidence. That's useful. It meant that I could debate better with people when it came to them saying, here's the standard evidence. There was no surprises in Gem Panda's video when he presented all of his beliefs for why they went to the moon. None of it was new to me. Why? Because most of the people who I got the information from in the first place were people like Gem Panda who simply disagreed with me. Not in a polite, cordial way, not in a, what else have you got? Have you got any other evidence to prove that NASA are faking the shape of the Earth? That wasn't what I got. I got, you're a moron, you're a complete idiot, you're a complete, whatever, horrible insults with lots of swearing attached to it. That's what you end up getting. And my reaction to that was still to say, well, okay, great, present your evidence, do the same for me, give me your conclusions and show me how they're absolutely and totally valid, because I don't believe that they are, based on the limited research I'd done 2 years ago. But I don't know, it just seems unfair to take this paradigm shifting truth to the point where we have so much speculation and nonsense attached to it, when we could just say very simply, here we go, I'll give credit where credit's due to Patricia Steer. Before I went to be interviewed by Vice, her advice to me was, if you don't know something, say I don't know. And that's very, very, very good advice. If you don't have the answer to a question, if you don't know something, or somebody comes along with something that could prove you wrong, it's alright to take a step back and say, could be wrong, let's have a little look, let's see if I am. Or find better evidence along the path, find contradictory evidence along the path, but definitely don't shoot the messenger. I'm not a prick, dick, maybe. Anyway, I've been Nathan Oakley. I'll see you in the next video.